All right, and welcome everyone to Season 3, Game 1 of the Combat Tested Gaming Rocket League season. Today we are playing the Beta Blockers against the Beta Agonist in this opening round. Both teams, I'm pretty sure, were not present during Season 2 if you've been following us for a while. And if you are brand new, welcome to Combat Tested Gaming, program hosted by the KC crew and the VFW for active duty service members and veterans. And it's completely free. So if you're an active duty service member or a veteran or no one, then get in the Discord channel, make some friends, and get some gaming on. But Ari, what do you think about these names, the Beta Blockers and the Beta Agonists? I think we need to discuss that.
I mean, that's just a funny set that we got for matchup in the first week. I mean, it was destined to be, or so it seems. Maybe we'll see these teams go all the way to that final week and end up in that grand final, but that's a long ways away. That's in the sixth and final week. We are in just week 1, and for those of you that are a little bit unfamiliar with how this format works, basically all of these teams are going to play 5 total games. It's not a first to 5, it's not a best of 5, and well, Vengeance will be striking first to open up this series and try and put their first game on the board.
Yeah, but like what you were saying, right? So this format, for those of you that are joining CTG, Combat Tested Gaming, for the first time, they're going to play 5 full rounds. So they're, it's not going to end before 5 rounds are complete, and those scores end up getting tallied and assists for tiebreakers, etc., as they earn points towards the championship several weeks from now. So we do see the Beta Blockers coming out hot, getting their first goal of the season against the Beta Agonist. And, just based off their names, I'm going to have to go with the Beta Blockers. I know normally, in our streams, we decide on unfamiliar teams based on their name on who is going to be performing better. And maybe it's cheating by waiting until that first goal occurred, but I think the Beta Blockers might have this one. That's where I'm going to be putting my money, and anyone that's betting out there can follow suit.
Well, you know what? I'm going to say that I think without a doubt Beta is going to win this game.
Yeah.
This game and the rest of the games, all of them today. I think that's really who's going to come out on top. I mean, don't at me, really.
Excellent. So we got Mr. Vanilla pushing it downfield. Cool Whip getting a shot here. Oh, and a missed block there by the Beta Blockers are going to give the Beta Agonist their first goal of the season and tying up this first round.
Beta Blockers need to maybe work on just that, blocking it out of their net. And, well, they're going to allow for the opposing team to get back on into this one, tying it all up. But remember, we're just about halfway through this game. Still plenty of time, but, every goal is certainly a nice way to keep going, control that momentum. And, James, did you notice that actually Rocket League had just updated their boost counter, so you can actually see how much boost the teammate has next to their name on the field?
Actually, I didn't realize that. I love that. Okay, so that's what these circles are.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, I'm behind the curve. That is an update that I was unaware of, but I definitely love it and love to see it. And I think that that'll probably help with the coordination that's required. Oh, wait, hold that thought. Cool Whip. You got to enunciate those H's, very Family Guy style, but he's going to get the second goal on the board for the Beta Agonist against the Beta Blockers. Again, a very close opportunity for the Blockers to save that. But the Agonists were able to thread it through.
I mean, Cool Whip. Wow, that was a really great goal. Really worked out in their favor. I'm running out of W words.
That's probably a good thing. We'll have to wait for you to come up with some new ones. But, what you were saying with the boost and what I was going to comment on earlier was the fact that, in this competitive league, we are running duos. And in duos, you see a tendency for overextension, and oftentimes that is as a rule. Oh, I thought that was going to be another goal. But that's oftentimes as a result of poor boost management and understanding where your teammate stands. But I think with this, it is going to allow a lot more conservative play and awareness on the teammates' part so that they don't overextend. And so far, both teams have been doing very well at balancing their position on the field between being aggressive. And here we go, Vengeance, 1v1, scoring yet again, keeping this game extremely tight. 70 seconds remaining.
I mean, there you go. It's a 50 that just ends up in one net as opposed to the other. And We got ourselves an equalizer once again. 1 minute remaining on that clock. And, well, one of these teams has to come out on top. That's just how Rocket League works for you. And somebody is going to need to get that goal. And, well, we've seen a lot from Vengeance, right? We've seen a bit from Cool Whip. But now it's about the other players. Can everybody pull their own weight? Can the team coordination be there? And who will strike and take the lead once again?
So we do see a fight for possession here. Vengeance in the right place at the right time is going to be able to pop it up into the corner. Mr. Vanilla trying to set up something here. But it does get shot downfield, and Cool Whip is there in time. Luckily that shot... Oh my goodness! Vengeance able to dribble it in, giving the Beta Blockers a lead here. And you can see here Cool Whip trying to bounce it off the wall, but does just miss it just barely, and that gives Vengeance the opportunity to capitalize and keep the Blockers in the lead.
Little bit of a misread there, but that's what happens when that ball is in such a precarious angle. You kind of have to be on your back foot, and, well, the ball might not have gone in on that shot. It sure will off the follow-up, so you will have a lead once again. And 20 seconds remaining on this clock, right? It's going to need to be responded to if they want to tie this game up here, but it's just that clock ticking on down. And oh, is this ball going to go in? No, it's just a little high, but now it is. Vengeance once again with the 4th goal. Might have the nail in the coffin here.
You're absolutely right. I think with 10 seconds remaining, that is a little bit tough to come back from. And so, you know, maybe it's a little early, but I don't really think so. I think the Blockers are going to be able to secure their first win of the season, and we'll have to see if they are able to keep this momentum going through the rest of the 4 rounds that they have remaining. Like, it's a little bit of a long night of Rocket League. This is definitely not the end-all be-all.
Yeah, there you go. That first game going towards the Blockers, and, well, that's what they want to do. That's what you want to get started. But remember, every single game matters equally, right? It's not about, well, if we lose one, we're going to be okay. That one game might actually be the difference from you making the end tournament or not. So each one of these games, very, very desirable. You want to win absolutely all of them. And, well, looks like Cool Whip and Mr. Vanilla, they're off to just maybe a tad of a slow start.
Absolutely, and we got some interesting things here, right? You can see Vengeance with 6 shots, which was the total of the shots that were recorded for the Beta Blockers. You know, very one-sided. Maybe a strategy that the Beta Blockers are kind of running with Vengeance 1v1 being more of the forward-running player on the duos team, and then Phil Baby playing more on the defensive role. And then for the agonists, you kind of see something a little bit more evenly spaced, something a little bit more, you know, 2 shots each, kind of getting on the goal. So let's see if their strategies mix up here at all as we go into round number 2.
Game number 2. And right now, you got one of these teams up 1-0. But of course, it's not going to stay that way for long, as after all of these games in Rocket League, somebody is going to come out on top. Somebody will have to be our winner. And, well, let's see how this first kickoff goes.
Little Baby coming out hot, does push it down towards the agonist side of the field, and is doing a good job of fighting to keep it there. Vengeance was prepared for it to be sent back, and it does look like they have both players set up for a potential attack here.
Oh, is this just in?
I think that's just in. And that kind of goes back towards the overextension we were talking, but I don't really think that was so much of an overextension. I think the Blockers really did think they were on, you know, they had an opportunity, but the agonists were just able to send it right back downfield into an open net.
I mean, Thrill Baby there just has to go for the 50-50 and actually opts to turn away thinking they had a little bit more time, but no, just too much power on the shot. And that will do it. Mr. Vanilla, I believe that was scoring that first goal, their first of the night, if I do believe so as well. So got ourselves a little bit of a script change.
Here we go right now. Getting some scrappy fight for possession, but a little bit of an open net here. Oh my goodness, Mr. Vanilla does knock it away, and then Cool Whip making sure that it is out of reach of the Blockers for scoring their first goal of this evening. Now that right there could have been a goal. Unfortunately going just a little wide for the agonists, and now the Blockers are back on the front foot.
Yeah, the agonist is going to be feeling a little bit in agony there, but At least they still got one goal on the board for themselves. They're going to be feeling a-okay for the time being, as long as, there's no equalizer in sight. And Mr. Vanilla now trying to pop it over one, but Vengeance is there to make the stop. Some solid defense out from both of these teams as we get into this game.
So the Agonist still definitely on the offense. Cool Whip going to the air again, trying to knock it off the backboard. Unfortunately, teammate not necessarily in a position to get a goal off of that, and now it's the blocker's turn to try to send it downfield.
That was a really good 50, actually. That one does a great job, and followed up by another one, though. Cool Whip going to be sending that one all the way down, and still would be having a little bit of a trouble trying to clear this one off of the sidewall. It seems like it's just the wall of death, right? As soon as that ball gets there, you don't quite know where it's going to go. The reads become so much more tougher, and Phil trying to get a touch on towards the net. It does get somewhat closer, but now is going to have to back up, retreat, make sure the ball doesn't end up in their own net. And, well, we still remain at the scoreline of 1-0.
No, this is definitely a scrappy fight. These teams are very evenly matched. And I think right now what we're seeing is, you were talking about being up against the wall, and those awkward positions are just so tough to fight for possession, and those are the moments that if you can be better than your opponent at navigating those stickier spots where the ball kind of gets stuck, that can really be the separator in a lot of these matches. Ooh! Great bounce shot by Vengeance is going to tie this game up, and we'll get another shot here. He goes up high, bounces it straight down into the ground, and bounces right off to the side. Very tough to read, and you could also see there Lil Baby trying to get in the way of the defender. But luckily for them, it just went straight in. No issue.
Yeah, a little bit of a swing and a miss. Strike three, you're out for Mr. Vanilla there on that defense. Yeah, you can only do so much when you're flat-footed in that net, so it's important to keep up your pace, keep up the momentum so you can fly around, cover as much area as possible. And Vengeance looking to strike again, but nope, there's two players there to make the save this time. But we talk about double commits, right? One of those things where if two players go for the ball, that means that someone is not there to play off of your teammate. And if one of you misses, you're kind of being deactivated by the fact that the other teammate is right in front of you.
100%. And I was wondering there, like when the ball goes flying across the net right in front of it, that is such a scary feeling. And we just saw that happen in front of the blocker's net. Now the blockers trying to take it downfield, is going to bounce it off of the Agonist player. Lil Baby trying to make something happen here, taking it up towards the high ground, rolling it down towards the middle, and Vengeance it does get blocked by Cool Whip. And now I think we're going to be seeing the Agonist have a little bit more of the initiative. Oh, but I say that, and now Lil Baby rolls it in for their second goal of the game, giving them the lead 2-1 with 1 minute and 12 seconds remaining.
I mean, again, just a great touch there, and then you saw somebody being out of rotation just a little bit, right? If one player is going for the ball, chances are you want your other teammate rotating back towards that net. And, well, when you're both over fighting for that ball, that means that the net is going to be wide open, and the ball found its way there. It made its mark, and the 2-1 lead coming in right nice and early. But as we have 1 minute remaining in this game, right, time ticking, you need a response here if you want to get an equalizer.
Right now, it's anyone's next goal as Lil Baby starts taking it up the corner, is aware of Cool Whip, bounces it around him, and now we got Mr. Vanilla in the middle of the field, sending it up to Cool Whip, and they're setting up for a little bit of an offense here, but Lil Baby able to dribble it on the top of his car, is going to get it centered, and Vengeance just going a little wide.
Pinch clear from Vanilla. Very, very good. It's going to allow for that ball to go all the way downfield. Cool Whip with a shot, and there you go. It's not even barred down, but it gets the job done. It sinks right in, and you have that just equalizer. It is 15 seconds on the clock, though, so it is anyone's game, right? You can play for overtime here, but it becomes a lot riskier in that golden goal scenario.
Yeah, both teams definitely want a goal here before the time runs out. We'll be curious to see if that's the case. Currently at the rate of goals being scored, it's not a given if that's going to be happening. And with 5 seconds remaining, I think this ball is going to hit the ground. It's going to be reset, and we're going to be going into overtime.
Overtime, right? Game number 2, our first one today, and I'm sure there will be many more. Maybe even if it's not today, we're still gonna see close games like this. And Phil just scoring right off the bat, right off the back of the kickoff. How did that even happen?
Phil Baby was like, all right, we've played enough of this round 2. Let's get on to round 3. I'll just send it straight downfield into your goal.
Well, that's going to be the 2-0 game advantage, right? If I'm not mistaken, for the Beta Blockers. That will be their kind of success. It's transitioning between those two games, and the momentum surely is got to be in their favor right now. But I mean, these are very, very close games, right? Separated by 1 or 2 goals each time. So I think this could be a very, very nice series.
100%. I think that this series is really anybody's. I think, with how tight these matches have been, I wouldn't be even entirely shocked if the agonists were able to completely reverse sweep the next 3 rounds. But the blockers have been playing very well. They've been doing very well at capitalizing off of small misses, right? Like if the agonists are ever just, swerve around the ball in a wrong way and leave it open, then that's where all the blockers' goals seem to come from. They just sneak it right in. They're waiting for mistakes as opposed to pushing overly aggressively.
And right, just a little bit of a note for those of you out there, right? We can see all of the boost meters, but each of these teams, they can only see their own teammates. I think it'd be a little bit overpowered if you knew how much boost a certain opponent had, in that 1v1 scenario right in front of the net. So it makes sense that that mechanic is designed how it is. And, well, speaking of mechanics, we got a demo.
Here we go. Sorry, getting sucked into this match a little bit. Right now, it is a complete slugfest in the middle of the field. Both teams trying to push and get forward momentum. Right now, it is kind of in the danger zone for the blockers as Mr. Vanilla keeps it centered for his teammate. But Phil Baby going to start this push downfield. Does have an open net here, but a little out of position. But Vengeance, oh! And it is saved by Mr. Vanilla. I don't think it was recorded in the top right, but that was definitely their responsibility and their fault that the blockers did not score right there.
Their fault? I mean, I would say their responsibility, whatever you got to do. As long as that ball is not going in your net, I'm happy with it, no matter how it necessarily happens, whether it's a whiff or a save, a glitch in the matrix. But we will have this tie game still, and this one a little bit awkward. Still for the jump, but no boost in the tank, so
just a little bit short.
Fly like I guess a bird with no wings.
Yeah, just floating after it like a hot air balloon trying to catch a plane. Yeah. Not quite gonna happen. Right now, it is a scrappy fight right in front of the agonist net, and I do think Phil Baby's gonna maintain some possession here. Ooh, but a backwards flip there. Ooh. By the agonist, it's slowly making its way all the way down towards the blocker's side of the field.
And right, I do want to talk about this concept of quality versus quantity of shot, right? You could throw the ball towards the net, but as long as there's a defender there, right, it may not be the best scenario for you, the best opportunity you can get. However, this one is so close, but Vengeance will make the save. But yeah, you want those quality shots on net, right? You want to try and either demo your opponent out of there so that they are just completely gone and out of the picture, or at least bait somebody into being out of position so you can get yourself a nice wide open net.
Those are the easiest for sure. And I just want to go back to that corner shot that almost just went in. It was like he was playing pool. He bounced that off the wall about half the way down the field and still almost got it. That was an exciting attempt there. Phil Baby getting in the way here of the agonist advance. And we do see Cool Whip keeping the aggression on.
I think this is our largest streak without a goal, and...
Oh, you cursed it!
I mean, I kind of saw it coming as I was saying it, but I already thought it in my head, so I had to say it out loud, and then, there you go. 3 minutes into the game, 3 minutes on the dot, Phil Baby getting goal number 1 on the board for this game. I mean, that's for the Beta Blockers, right? They have that 2-game advantage already, and Vanilla's trying to respond. Is that in? The demo pushes it close, but Cool Whip just can't get it in.
That was so close. Absolutely just a razor's edge away from evening up this game. But right now, I think you're right. The Beta Blockers, they are in the groove. They are on fire. Vengeance scoring a second goal in this third round. we may be seeing another victory for the Beta Blockers, which would effectively give them the series and definitely be probably a hit to the morale for the Agonists as they're coming into this first game of Season 3.
I mean, you really just need to get one goal, right? That's really what it is here. Starts with one, and then you can let the onslaught occur, and you just got to take it one goal, one game at a time. Sometimes you get too far in your head, you can start affecting your physical play. And, well, there's a good save by Cool Whip, right? They've still had some very, very nice moments, but they just got to get that ball in the net.
Let's see if Boy can get in the way, and he does. Sends it off to the side of the field. Mr. Vanilla pushing it back, trying to center it in front of this net. And Cool Whip is there, and he gets the goal. 2-1, still in favor of the Blockers, but the Agonists closing this gap.
There you go. Yeah, a little bit awkward for Mr. Vanilla there. And, you know, the teammate came in, said, hey, we're going to use the power of friendship. And they knock that ball in. They get themselves back into this one. Just a one-goal game. Sure, there's a minute remaining, but you're halfway there to the goal that you were trying to get. And now you're 100% of the way there as you got this one all tied up.
There it is. Here we were counting them out. That reverse sweep is still possible for the Agonists. Right now, if you're just joining us, you are watching the first game of Season 3 for the Combat Tested Gaming League. Beta Blockers against the Beta Agonists. Currently, Beta Blockers are up 2-0 in this 5-game series that we are playing tonight.
5-game series, all 5 played out, so guaranteed 5 games of Rocket League for you. So you're here, you're about halfway through, so props to you. You get to stick around for the next half. But
Cool Whip!
Goes in.
It's the coolest whip. Look at him. 3-2. Started off from 2-0, right? Yeah, I think so. They are getting their momentum. I feel like whenever I play Rocket League or I watch Rocket League, I definitely, you can sense the momentum building, right? It's like we were saying, once you get that first goal, it's like the other ones just come easier. And I think we're seeing that right now with the Agonist.
I mean, now they're not the ones on the back foot. They actually just have to hold out for 30 more seconds, which seems very, very doable. But Mr. Vanilla just chucking this one up high and going to fall down for the touch that doesn't quite connect. But this ball's still in midfield. You know, this goal needs to come through for the Blockers if they want to get this one to OT. But 10 seconds on the board. It's going to be really, really tough. A team bump in the way, but it's all down to Vengeance. Vengeance misses. That could cost them the game here. Vanilla just letting this one dribble and is going for the flick. That one will go in. There you go. 4-2 is the final score after we saw a 2-0 start for the Blockers.
That's right, very evenly matched teams. These games are so tight, and every mistake is what counts or what gets the goals for these teams. And right now, we did see the Agonists capitalize more in that match. So right now, in this 5-game series, we are looking at a 2-1 score right now. 2 victories for the Blockers and 1 victory for the Agonists. And look at that shot counter for the Agonists. They definitely upped their aggression this game. I think that's the most shots on goal that we've seen so far tonight. And I'm curious to see, I think we're going to be seeing a lot more of that.
I mean, one of the flaws with my quantity versus quality shot logic is, well, if you throw enough shots on the goal, surely one's bound to go in. And, well, the fact that if you keep throwing shots on the net, you're going to force that opposing team to have to get out of position, try and get extra boost to make those saves, get kind of maybe some double commits in there. So it is some very, very good offensive pressure. And as we hop into game number 4 with a 2-1 series score, I think anything is possible.
Anything is possible. I want to see if the Agonists can tie up this series in this match, make it a 2-2 with a last game tiebreaker. And they're off to the races. Right now, Mr. Vanilla does bounce it off Vengeance and Vil Baby. Oh, I thought he was going to send it all the way, but it does get knocked out by Cool Whip. And now Vengeance coming in for a little bit more aggression.
A little bit more aggression, but aggression seeming to be that name of the game right now, right? Just keep putting the ball in your opponent's half, and they're going to have to struggle to get it out of there. And Cool Whip going to be sending this one all the way down, but it is still to knock it away.
Cool Whip getting
loading.
Yeah, Cool Whip getting a demo as well. Did give them a small window of opportunity there, but unfortunately it does seem like this ball's just kind of floating for what feels like forever, giving the blockers a chance to kind of start sending it downfield again.
Cool Whip up one more time. This is it this time, but oh boy, you know who's not missing? It's Vengeance. Vengeance will strike first in game number 4.
Has he gotten the first goal every single game?
I think every single game. Maybe for his team?
Yeah,
sure.
like these past 3 games. Yeah. Yeah, not every game ever.
well, definitely not that. I mean, plot twist. It's actually Vengeance that is in, you know, RLCS, that's in your ranked games. The only person on the enemy team, it's always Vengeance.
It's always Vengeance. Oh, right now I do see the blockers with an opportunity, and unfortunately the ball does get kind of awkwardly stuck there in the middle, but it's sent to the center by They'll Baby, and Vengeance is there to play it, but it does look like it's going to be, well, yeah, it does look like it's going to be sent back towards the blocker side of the field.
Here we go. Cool Whip ball up in the corner in the skybox, and I feel like the corner is one of those places of death, like we mentioned kind of before. It's so tough to get it out of there, center it out to your teammate, and hope that there's somehow not a defender in net. I mean, if the ball's in the corner, you can really assume that the defense is one of 2 places, on the ball or in the net. And it's really, really tough to get them away, especially that deep into their own half. But now you're going to see Cool Whip, and this one's just in?
Open net, open opportunity. Cool Whip finds the ball, bounces it past the one defender that was on the ground at the time, and just powers it straight down the middle. And that gives us a tied game, 1-1 in this 4th game of the season.
4th game of the season, first week of the season.
Yeah, 4th game of the series in the first game of the season. It's like minutes, hours, days, years, you know, there's an escalation. I always mess it up.
It would be, I would say it's still the 4th game of the season. As we got the 3rd goal of the game coming in, right? They'll just striking early, and you know, we said it was always Vengeance, but they'll still pulling their weight, right? They're still doing a great job here as they put themselves in the lead once again. The beta blockers trying to bounce back after that little bit of a stumble in game number 3.
Yeah, definitely a lot more scores. I mean, I think last game we haven't even had a goal by this time, but right now we just got the 4th goal of the game by They'll Baby. 2 back-to-back, bringing the score for the blockers 3-1 against the Agnes.
Nice little shot there. I mean, just perfect placement, top right corner where Grandma hides those cookies. And I mean, what kind of cookies are you looking for? If they're in the cabinet, right? What kind of cookies are you hoping for?
Snickerdoodles every time.
Snickerdoodles. Okay.
Yep.
I can respect that. I think that's a.
I can respect
that's a good choice.
Did you have another answer in mind? It sounded like that kind of surprised you. You're like, okay, yeah, Snickerdoodle. You're right.
I guess I don't know. I was expecting like a chocolate chip. I guess that was.
Well, while we were talking about cookies, there was almost an amazing shot made, but it was defended by the blockers. Now they're taking the advantage here. Cool Whip kind of stuck behind over towards the blocker side of the net, but They'll Baby going a little wide does unfortunately shift the tables back. And now we're seeing a back and forth game, right? Right now this looks more like a tennis match than it does a Rocket League match. And here we go. Cool Whip is able to snag that boost, which is going to give him a little bit of advantage and send it downfield, but Vengeance in the way again. And right now I'm starting to feel, you know, like the game is getting a little bit more scrappy, right? We're under 2 minutes. We haven't seen the offense from the Agonists that we saw last game, as the blockers have really been keeping them on the back foot. And I feel like the Agonists are trying to get that momentum going again. And here they go. 2nd goal by Cool Whip. Yep, there's the momentum.
Yeah, I mean, Cool Whip just putting this one in, and you know, I couldn't help but think, you know, if this one is a tennis match, these players are like grunting every single time as soon as they hit the ball. And well, hey, I mean, if the louder the grunt means the more power you can get on that ball and you can score more times, go for it. Whatever works. And it seemed like for this, I can't even think of the team name all of a sudden. I just blanked on it.
What, Agonists and blockers?
Agonists. I almost said arsonists.
Arsonists, the beta arsonists. They're lighting your beta on fire. All right. They'll Baby taking it up to the air. Trying to keep that pressure continually on the Agnes side of the field. Oh, this is one of those small mistakes that we were talking about, but luckily Mr. Vanilla was there in time. Oh, but another shot. Cool Whip going in reverse and knocking it away. That could have been absolutely detrimental for the Agnes. They cannot let the blockers score another goal with this much time left on the clock.
Yeah, it would be very, very tough to come back from, and I think that was off the back of it. I believe it was a missed shot as well as some good defense. So if that shot placement's there just a little bit better, you should see a goal go in, but no can do, mi amigo. We've got 30 seconds left, a 1-goal deficit, and right now the Agonists, they're trying to strike on back, and they're going to keep doing so with some pressure from Vanilla, but it looks like no boost in the tank, trying to 58 out. But Cool Whip now with this chance, looking for the double tap, doesn't go through.
No, Vengeance was there too quick, and unfortunately, in a situation like that where you have to up the aggression and go for those double commits, it does leave your net open, just like we saw here in Vengeance with an opportunity to score another goal. But, you know, I can't really fault them for it, you know, in the position that they're in and the time that's remaining. You have to do it, right? Like, that's the highest percentage likelihood of winning is going for that hyper-aggressive play, because otherwise you would just lose with the score deficit being a little bit closer.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta at least try and get your hopes up just a tad and hope the team...
Oh!
Wow, that's actually a crazy
What a save! That was awesome.
Unimportant in the scheme of the game, but sure, still a nice little highlight reel to send to your dog, your grandma, whatever you gotta do.
Yeah, my dog's on, you know, Twitter, Facebook, you know, all that stuff, so send him all my highlight reels. All right, so Game 4 is going to be going to the Beta Blockers. So now they're sitting at a 3-1 lead for tonight's series. And this is going to be the last game of the night. Are the Agonists going to be able to come back and make this a 3-2 series? Or are the Blockers going to be walking away with their first game of the season with a 4-1 record to show?
I mean, obviously both teams still would love to win this game, right? It is that 5-game total series, so every game does matter if you didn't know, and this is just the first week, so the standings are going to be a little wishy-washy as everyone's going to be kind of in that similar range. There's not too many options that you can have with just 5 games being played, but all of these teams would love to be at the top of those leaderboards, and well, it seems like Vengeance has been that star that has allowed for the Beta Blockers to just keep getting on the board constantly.
Definitely, though, baby. Playing good defense here, slowly moving and advancing this ball downfield, looking to set something up, centers it. Unfortunately, Vengeance a little far back, which does make sense this early in the game, right? Like they're trying to make sure that they're rotating and covering space and not leaving any wide open gaps for the Agonists to take advantage of. And so we're going to see a similar advance, right? So they'll baby trying to get around these defenders, does knock one out of the way for Vengeance to come through. And now They'll baby is set up in a good spot. Is he going to get there in time? Unfortunately, no.
That was a great shot. That was actually a pinch off of the corner. The angle was beautiful, but the save was made. I would have went insane if that shot went in. The amount of skill is honestly underrated for how close that shot really was. And there you go, another save. It seems like Cool Whip is the guardian of that goal. Screw that Guardians of the Galaxy series. We've got a Guardian of the Goal series.
Guardians of the Rocket League goal. Starring Cool Whip.
What a superhero name.
Yeah, I think that's a good choice. Here we go. They'll baby trying to get it downfield, but it is saved by Cool Whip again, the guardian of the goal. And here we go. Cool Whip taking to the air. Is he going to have enough boost? He runs out. Right now, it's kind of one of those awkward, slow-rolling ball situations where both teams are just kind of bouncing it back and forth. Oh, but there's an opening! And Cool Whip with the first goal of the game. The first time that the Agonists have had the first goal of the game against the Blockers so far is going to start setting them up for a great last game of this series.
Great game 5 is all that we can hope for, and I think what would be fitting is to end it off in overtime, right? There's no other way that you can possibly end it, but Cool Whip says, I don't want an overtime. I want more goals, and there will be a second one.
It's like the cowbell skit from SNL, right? Like, I've got a
more
sickness.
Cowbell!
Yeah, and the only cure is more goals. That's what Cool Whip is trying to deliver right now.
I mean, it works out for them, right? They're out that 2-0 lead, and this is earlier than we've seen them take a lead before. Sure, they were up by 2 in maybe game number 3, but right now they're up by just 1 as Thill Baby will kind of knock this one in off a nice little passing play from Vengeance.
Yeah, that was definitely a good setup. I like the interactions that we get in duos matches, right? Like the people hitting it off the backboard, setting it up for the other teammate coming down the middle, and that's a similar one, right? Like shooting it off from the side so that your teammate can come and just knock it in behind the defenders that were trying to aggressively, steal the ball. Definitely saw it there with Vengeance and Thill Baby. But all 4 of these players definitely playing as if they've been playing with their teammates for a while. Very, very coordinated attacks, and also I just can't get over how well matched these teams were, which isn't always the case in like a first game of a season with new teams entering the league. So very cool to see.
Yeah, new teams entering the season, and just a reminder for anyone that may be watching, well, Thill is still goated on the sticks. Thill can still very much score and will bring this one back to a tie game. But remember, all of these players are, I believe it's above Platinum 3 and above. So this isn't, players just starting out on the game, right? These are a little bit seasoned. Everyone still has things to improve on, but they are significantly better at the game than your average Joe.
That's true, and also to note, right, if you are an active duty service member or veteran looking to join the Discord, you don't have to be a high-performing gamer. This is the competitive league, but there's also casual leagues and open play as well. And not just with Rocket League, but with Call of Duty, I think is the other one that we also sometimes stream and have going on. I know there's a Madden League as well. If there's a game, it's being played in the Discord. Attempted to be interrupted again by another goal by the Blockers is going to put them up to a 3-2 lead in this Game 5 series. And so the Agonists are going to have to double down and push forward if they want to end this series with 3-2 record tonight.
They're trying to block you from putting in your shameless plug. They're trying to say, hey, we don't care. We're gonna show you why you want to join this league, so you can face teams like us and at least try to beat us, right? If that's what it is. So if you think this team is good on your screen, test your luck, right? If you play some Rocket League, and well, Vengeance giving the Agonists a run for their money as that lead is coming on back. And this is a close game. Vanilla's trying to close it out, but no, can't get the shot off just in time. Will get denied.
Yep, and with an open net. Oh, I say that too soon. Mr. Vanilla able to get that save, knocking the ball away. And right now we're seeing a little bit of that aggression we were talking about from Game 3 come back for the Agonists, as they are just sending shot after shot towards the Blockers side of the field.
The Blocker side of the field certainly nice, and Mr. Vanilla now maybe with a chance here. Are we going to see a bump over towards the net? Well, we do see one demo, but there is still one more player on the field. It's Vengeance, and Vengeance is going to run away with this one. Oh. The double tap is just off, so the save will be made, but not for long, as Vengeance will come time and time again to finally sink that ball in net.
I think those bounced off of Cool Whip as well. Oh no, it did get bounced back into Vengeance. Okay, I know there's nothing that feels worse than sending the ball into your own goal, But yeah, it does look like the Blockers setting up for a 4-2 score at the moment. With 30 seconds remaining, this is going to be tough for the Agonists to come back from. So I anticipate that we're going to see at least one more goal. Hopefully, it's for the Agonists fighting back. But in that hyper aggressive state, their net's likely to be more open and might set up an opportunity for the Blockers to even extend this league.
Yeah, I had an own goal in my 4th grade birthday party in a soccer match, and never again. But Mr. Vanilla says that's not an own goal. That is a goal going in the correct net, as that will be, well, one last chance provided for the Agonists.
I love it. Whenever you stop doing play-by-play and we start talking about something else, that's when the goals happen. But right now, they need to score a goal right now. And right now is not looking very promising. They got to keep this ball in the air. As soon as it touches the ground, the game will be over. And there it is. Ladies and gentlemen, the Beta Blockers are going to walk away tonight with a 4-1 series win over the Beta Agonists. Couldn't have asked for a better match. Couldn't have asked for better team names, honestly. And so that's going to be it for the first game of Season 3 for the Combat Tested Gaming League's Rocket League season. So I just want to send out another thank you for the KC crew and the VFW for hosting these free leagues. And if you are an active duty service member or a veteran, please join the Discord. It's not just for gaming. There's lots of discussion around VA benefits, VFW opportunities, anything you need. It's a huge community of veterans and active duty service members that are all there to help each other out, but also play some games on the side if that's something that that interests you. So with that, that'll be it from us tonight. Everyone have a wonderful rest of your evening and week, and we'll be back next Wednesday with Game 2 of Season 3 for Rocket League.